You're watching F5. We are here at F5 AppWorld 2025 in Las Vegas at the Fontainebleau. I am joined by Rusty. Rusty, can I get you to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Rusty Young. I'm a field CTO at NetApp, kind of cover the Southwest region for the most part.
Oh, okay, sounds good. And today you had actually come and done a panel up on stage for us. We've been actually partners with NetApp for quite a while. More recently, really amped it up though, and doing more stuff with you guys. But kind of going back towards your panel there, just kind of getting a summary of kind of what you're seeing out in the field in your role as a field CTO, kind of gathering all those insights for folks, and you know, what kind of summaries can you give for us around that?
Yeah, so everybody thinks NetApp is just data storage, and we're really more about building an intelligent data infrastructure, right? So having intelligence behind your data storage is very, very important. So those are kind of some of the trends I see. Is I see a lot of customers asking about security. A lot of customers obviously ask about AI, and then pretty much everyone's asking about cloud. We heard today hybrid cloud, hybrid cloud, hybrid cloud. And that's what NetApp's providing. So we have first-party services on all three of the native hyperscaler, or all three of the hyperscalers. So you can actually consume NetApp as a native service in them. So let's say you had some leftover AWS credits, or maybe you had a whole bunch of them you got to use. You can consume NetApp storage in the cloud with those credits. Same thing applies to Azure and Google. So you can get that exact same experience in the cloud that you would get on-prem as a customer. So it kind of simplifies that entire to from the cloud. So that's kind of that multi-hybrid cloud. And then we have kind of best-in-class security features for data storage. So we are doing stuff on box to protect from cyber incidents, detect ransomware when it hits the box. So if you kind of think about, you've got app security or perimeter security, app security, identity security, network security, we're looking at the data side. And then we do apply AI to that to build kind of a user baseline analysis, what it looks like when you access stuff, and when you deviate from that, we say, hey, this could be a cyber incident, let's flag it and take some actions. So we're putting security wrappers around everything related to our storage, which if you're going to put your AI data in a single pool, hopefully on NetApp, right, you're going to want that data to be stored securely, safely, and be able to get it to and from the cloud.
Interesting. I actually didn't know that last bit there, so I've learned something
there
today.
You go.
That's awesome. And I think we kind of share a similar story too as F5 in that when cloud came along, people were probably like, oh, well, we don't need our data centers anymore. We don't need all these big storage arrays. Cloud has all this taken care of. It sounds like that was not the case for you guys. You guys found where you add more value to cloud, it seems like.
Yeah, so anybody who knows the value that NetApp puts around storage from some of our snapshot and cloning technologies and all that rich data value, we provide that same level of it in the cloud. So again, those same API calls that you're going to make on-prem to protect and replicate that data, we can do that same thing in the cloud. You can use the same APIs. So let's say you've got a Kubernetes workload that you're running on-prem, you want to shift it into the cloud. Our offerings there are deeply integrated to the other native services in all three hyperscalers. So it really solves that hybrid multi-cloud challenge.
Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. Like, I think same story for us too, that single kind of policy so that you don't have like a cloud storage team and you have your data center storage team, and some of them have more features than the other ones. They're like trying to play not cat and mouse, but like they're trying to catch up to each other, and all of a sudden like it's harder to manage even though you have maybe more features across the board.
We do see that. There are teams that definitely run their anything cloud separate from their on-prem. So sometimes we'll be in talking to the on-prem IT guys, and they don't know what's going on in the cloud. That's some other division. And they know they use storage, but they don't know what they use or how they use it. So a lot of times we got to go talk to those application teams that are doing that native work in the cloud. To understand what they're doing. So like when I think about it from the F5 NetApp joint, right, it's going to take us going in together to talk to those AI teams to find out, where do you need the data to be? How's the data going to move? NetApp and F5 together can have this joint solution to secure that data as it's going to and from the cloud.
Yeah, I think some of that too solves some things like policies, data sovereignty, some of the legalities that I think are really being highlighted around AI right now and the implementation of it, and so much data having to move around when it comes to AI, and it's going to kind of catch up to people. Like as you move data around, eventually somebody's going to say, hey, is that protected or not?
Yeah, and that's one of our goals, is to help kind of mitigate that data gravity problem that everybody has. Right? Do you need to move all the data to the cloud? Can we just use or move some of it there? And so having the same data infrastructure experience on-prem and in the cloud, and we can help make that easier to maybe we only cache data in the cloud, and that way those tools that are up there just get what they need versus having to move some 100 terabyte data set to the cloud and then maybe bring it back or be worried about the security of it.
Yeah, and I guess you're touching on some of the points that we have for a joint solution, but I think in general when it comes to AI, are you seeing like differences in architecture and how people are deploying it, or are you seeing people have to address it in different ways, or just general questions that people have?
Yeah, I mean, I think as you know as well as I do, right? The way there's a million different ways to do AI. AI means different things to different organizations. So yeah, there's a lot of architectures that are going to look different, but I think when we can have some joint solutions to build a foundation for maybe the data storage or maybe the transport layer to get it to and from the cloud, it helps take those issues off the plates of customers, and then they can go focus on getting that business data where they need it, getting their AI so that they can basically apply it to their business instead of sitting here working on all the infrastructure and the challenges with that.
Right. It's very rare that the infrastructure itself is what creates the value for the business and generates revenue. Getting that done so that the people who build the logic and the business value on top is what you're enabling?
Yeah, it's about freeing up the data to be where it needs to be, protect it the way it needs to be protected, and then let those app folks go work on the hard stuff that's further up the chain.
Set the table.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Where can people go to find ways to contact you or get engaged with you if they have questions?
Yeah, so obviously if anybody's got local NetApp account teams, they know how to get me in. NetApp.com, I mean, that's our core landing page for just about everything. If security's top of mind, NetApp.com/security. Okay. See kind of the value that we bring there. I'm Rusty Young, first dot last at NetApp. I'm going to get 1,000 emails now, so we'll see what happens.
All the followers will be onto it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us at AppWorld.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's been really cool. I've mentioned some of the folks that I used to work with at NetApp locally in Vancouver before, and initially figuring out ways that we could work together, and now like even more, there's more reason why people should be looking at NetApp and F5 together. So really excited about this. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it'll be great. Thank you.